you for your introduction. It is a shame that it took me more than 30 years to earn my DTM title. That's not a good introduction. Well, my name is Irving Huang. Currently, I'm serving as Division C Director. And tonight, this afternoon, so used to say tonight. This afternoon, we are going to have fun. We're going to learn something. All the learning from very, very senior Toastmasters who have been dedicated to the Toastmaster activities. They would like to share what they learned for us to learn. All right, the first trainer is Connyn Chang. Connyn is with, this Connyn. This Connyn has been with CTBC Toastmasters class since 2010. Okay, if you are in Taipei area, once in a while you will be invited to the CTBC Toastmasters whenever they invited some very, very extraordinary, outstanding Toastmasters to their club meeting to share. So this is the moment that we can learn from Connyn. Connyn is the past division and director and is very, very passionate on Toastmaster activities. Ladies and gentlemen, please give her a big applause. Connyn.
Thank you, Irving. And I better try to get closer to my remote controller, but I think that the distance should be near enough for me to control the page. And thanks for Irving's introduction. In case that you haven't been invited to CTBC Toastmasters, just let me know. We will sign you up already. And today my topic is about DCP. I want to emphasize one thing. Actually, DCP, the Distinguished Club Program, it's not just the score itself. Actually, it means a lot more. It's sort of like health examination. So, the health examination basically help the officers to examine the health condition of the club. So it's just not something that your trio, like Matthew and Simone, to like push or give stress on you. It's not the officers' stress. It's actually a tool that help you to examine your health condition, your club health condition. So basically, you have 4 categories. That the first one is the administrative part. Like for example, if your members pay and your officers, you try to pay the fee on time. You think that it's just a score, a point? No, it's a lot more. Sometimes it means the members' commitment. Are your members willing to pay the fees? If they are, actually you wouldn't have a lot of problem paying the fee timely. So actually it's time to examine that the connection between the club and the members, right? And the second part is about the training. For example, you just want the point because you attend the officers training today. With a minimum of 4 officers joining the club, the officer training, then you will get this point. And the third one is the membership. You will have 4 new members and another 4 new members, like 8 new members per year. So you can win the point. If you don't have a lot of members, new members, what does that mean? Actually, it means perhaps you don't have many guests coming to your clubs, right? Or another problem, your guests coming, but connection points didn't work well, so they don't want to come back again. Perhaps because they don't feel welcome, perhaps they don't sense the quality of the meeting. So now you think that the DCP is just a point, like the score? No, it's a lot more. The fourth part is sort of complicated, but actually it's easier than you think. It's the training program, the education program. Although that we have pathways launching right now, but actually it's simple. Because the only thing you have to do is to score 6 education credits among these 12. Whichever you can win them. So for example, you have 2 CC awards or you have 4 level 1, then you can count as 1 point. You think this is not important? Actually, this is way more important than you think. Because if you have only CC awards in your club, then what does that mean? Perhaps you don't have senior members. Perhaps your senior members come to the meeting, but they don't deliver speeches. So actually, each of the point means a lot that you think they can represent. In Toastmasters Club, we usually earn like at least 9 points every year. And it's not just the health condition. Sometimes it's a signal. So if you are doing right and the club is health, DCP points just the natural results. And you think that I'm talking about DCP? You are wrong. I'm telling you how to bring a club from death to alive again. And I will use some case studies. I hope the connection works well. First one is gamification. How to use human-centered design to make your club more fun. And second, case studies, good ones and bad ones. And third, tools, which is probably the most valuable tool and information you can get today. First, what I have to say, everyone is busy. How to use your limited time and limited energy, limited resources to bring out the biggest outcome. We actually have to be smart. First of all, there are about 70 clubs in Taipei. You think that it's only your club facing problems? No, lots of clubs are facing problems. I visited about at least 2/3 of them, so I know the condition very well. So if we divided the 60 clubs in 70 clubs into 3 categories, you will find that there are corporate, community, and student. We do a SWOT analysis. They have their strengths. They have their weakness as well. So I will emphasize on corporate club and community club because I'm familiar with it the most. First one is corporate clubs, rich, but very low attendance rate, right? And the second one is community club. Lots of backgrounds, different backgrounds of the members, but where's their value? You will see each term, the officers are busy and exhausted finding a new value because of the cost, because of everything else. But actually, don't look on the weakness itself. You have your own strength. How to use it well? So I want to emphasize a story which is that we moved to, CDBC Toastmasters moved to Nangang District 2014, and we had a big problem. We got probably the most gorgeous meeting venue in Taipei, but actually people are leaving. So we have probably like 20 members, and then people going to the regular meeting, it's just like 6, 7, or 8. And I joined CDB Toastmasters about 2010, and there were about 20 members. But I left for like 6 months. After I came back, it's probably because of the move and also the low attendance rate, there's only 6 or 7 members joining the regular meetings. So it's actually quite scary that only 6 or 7 members going to the meeting. But now, after a few years of trial, I think we got like more than 30 members right now, and even the members take turn to come to the meetings. We still have about like 30 people joining the meeting right now. And I would say that when I came back, I made some consideration. And the most important part is that everyone is busy. I'm busy as well. I hope that I can just take the elevator, go to the meeting venue instead of finding another new club. So if you're in a corporate club as well, try to cherish your corporate club. It's the most convenient club for you. And if it's on the way you going to the work or your way home, that there's a club, try to stick with the club as well. Every club is unique. And after we try to strengthen the club again, and now we got beautiful numbers. Actually, we have about like 1 new member every month. So what magic did we do? Now I'm going to share with you. First one is the iceberg illusion, that you saw some successful clubs and you don't know why. Actually, they did lots of things under the water. And we have our own version, the weakening. Why is the club weakening? There are actually lots of reasons. Some typical reasons will be like, actually a meeting notice are not sent to the members and guests in time, right? Usually you got the meeting agenda like 1 hour before the meeting. And you forgot the meeting at all, so you didn't really, you want to, but actually it's not in time, so you couldn't make it. And second is that, so like guests coming to the meeting room, but actually no members, no officers talk to him. He felt that he's trying to intrude into a relationship that he or she is not welcome. So probably he doesn't really come back again. So there are actually lots of things that make the club start weakening. So we try to tackle each problem and bring your club back to be alive again. So a typical thing when I was a past district director, I visited lots of clubs. And one thing in common for the weak club is that officers complain each other. So someone, maybe the president accused VP, the VP accused VPN, and the VPN accused the treasurer that didn't make the payment in time. Stop, really. You have a lot more things to do compared to do the complaining. And you are making the right first choice today that you come to the officer training. Because joining this training, you actually connect to your resources. You're connected to people. You're connected to the trio. You're connected to Ian. You're connected to me and other lecturers. Now, you are resourceful. No matter it's people or knowledge or the tools. And we're going to go through later. The first one is a rescue plan for the corporate clubs, which is usually very low attendance rate. Actually, you have very strong two tools, company email, and second, the guest helpers. Guests are usually like to visit companies because they offer free lunch or free dinner, right?
That's the ticket.
Okay. And this is before. I will do the before and after version. Before that, our EV usually send emails, but there are three problems. First, there are routine notification. So every title looked the same. We didn't give the why that the members and guests should come to the meeting. The second problem, too late. You will see that it's usually sent the day of the meeting, sometimes a couple of hours before the meeting. Third, the reason. Actually, you should have a meeting theme every time. Don't make it a routine, regular meeting to the members. Give them a reason that they should come to this meeting. And usually, there will be so many colors on the email. It's actually very distracting. And the different fonts actually causing a problem for the members. When they open the email immediately, probably they have other things to get busy. And they will just give the email directly because they couldn't intuitively understand what the email tried to convey. So actually, we try to reorganize the way we do marketing. So first of all, directly on the title, please pay attention to this because now you will receive lots of emails from different clubs. And usually they would probably make the same mistakes. Usually on the title, they would just say, don't miss it, and come to the meeting. But you didn't even put your club on the title, right? And time and venue. They have the recipients have to confirm that where the venue is. Sometimes it will decide whether they will join the meeting or not. Try to make your meeting, each meeting unique with the time and the venue stated on the title itself. And also give them an interesting meeting theme. Inside the email, actually, we always do bilingual. This is very important, bilingual. Why? Because I think most of the members are non-native English speakers. It is important to do both bilingual. Is that because if you put English only, sometimes if they are in very busy condition, they will skip the email immediately. They don't really have time to read through all the email. If you don't only Chinese meeting notice, that's probably not a good idea as well. You're an English club, right? So try to, even you're very busy, try to put at least 2 or 3 sentences in bilingual. Then it will help your members and your guests to read through your email carefully and understand what is special, what is the highlight of the coming meeting. And also, we try to minimize the colors, only highlight the important parts, instead of every line is colorful. And also, with the map in the agenda. For example, Ian did a very great job today that he puts the direction into this building. Otherwise, who knows that so many buildings in this university, how to come to this building venue, right? And also with a picture. Actually, picture still says a lot more than the words itself, right? So why the members and the guests will feel your meeting thing is special? Because you just give them a visual aid, so they understand the meeting thing itself. Always at the time and meeting venue. Don't expect that the recipient understand about the time and venue. For example, if I visit so many clubs every week, and if I don't see the meeting venue and the time, actually sometimes if you're under a busy condition, you will just skip the information directly because you decide not to go to the meeting, so you don't have to check the information by yourself, right? Directly in the email, add your meeting information, the time and the venue. And also, I saw a great meeting thing that day at CDE, that their meeting thing is toy. So everyone brought their favorite toys into the meeting thing. Sometimes you need a meeting thing to add varieties and spices and create great memories for your members and guests. So you could imagine how great the meeting was, right? Make special meeting thing. And I would say, before and after the meeting, we actually marketing our events on Facebook, our CDBC Facebook group. And the left one is the before. It's a notification, meeting notification. The right one is the records. Always do the records. Great things deserve to be known. It's an awesome meeting, but only the 30 people who join the meeting knows that. You have to let your club and other people know that how great the meeting was. The best part is to use photos, right? With some description. You will see some clubs, they publish photos without any description. Then you wouldn't know that is from Taiwan Toastmasters or CDBC Toastmasters or Alpha Toastmasters. You wouldn't know that, right? Try to put at least 1 or 2 sentences to describe how great the meeting was. And it's quite interesting that sometimes we do IG style marketing. And because this is the newest, this Wednesday meeting, and I upload these 2 photos, and lots of very young recipients, they directly replied and give the comments to the photos. I think it's quite interesting because you will see the generation shifting. So we probably will lure some new and younger members in the future, right? And if they feedback, that means you have your potential members. They are interested about your club and your events. And also, members sharing. Every meeting notice, I add a members sharing. It's not something that I blackmail or push my members to do that. I just like spy. I sneak on my Facebook and checking all of the members. It's not just CDBC members, but other members as well. If they provide some feedback or their feeling about the meeting today, and I will just print the screen and ask for a permission from my member, because otherwise they don't want to expose themselves, I know. So ask their permission, and I will add their feedback into the meeting notice. Sometimes it is the key. Some people, they are still hesitating whether to join your meeting or not. They're hesitating, probably I shouldn't go, probably I should go. After they saw the sharing, they signed up the meeting immediately. Because this is not saved by me, this is saved by a member or a guest joining the meeting. They felt the million electron votes after they joined the meeting. So even the members or the guests, they missed the meeting, but actually they sense the power, the passion happened in the meeting. So actually they will feel that they missed the meeting. It's not because you say something that you don't miss the meeting in the meeting notice. It is something said by your members or the guests. That's even more powerful. Remember that. And something special, that night is our sergeant at arms, also our bartender. Then she made a vodka passionate fruit wine or juice. So my members gave a great impression. I just add something special into the meeting notice, and it actually creates different varieties into the meeting. Another thing is language evaluation notes. Sometimes your LE is very diligent doing his or her job, but actually, is that shared in your meeting notice? No. we are Toastmasters clubs. The most important thing is to learn. So actually, since the language evaluators did his or her job great today in the meeting, why don't you just share what he or she said? You didn't do extra work. I didn't do this extra. I wrote them down in my meeting, so I don't have to do it again after the meeting. So cherish your time. Do it simultaneously. You don't really have extra time to do so many things. Do it directly in the meeting. And don't repeat yourself. So by don't repeat yourself, I meant it's not really working. I'm doing programming recently. Don't repeat yourself is that you don't have to write the same thing again and again, right? So you think that I spend lots of time doing the meeting notice every time, like a day? No, not at all. I broke them into 6 blocks. So I only update the meeting time. I don't even update the meeting venue, right? I only do the update parts, the photos, and the meeting theme is done by our Toastmaster of the, I think the evening. He or she will pick a meeting theme and pick a photo. So you just do the modules. I only update the parts. You don't have to do the 6 categories all the time. So that can save you lots of time, but makes your meeting notice a lot of more colorful and information, more attractive. So this is going to be a powerful marketing tool for you every time when you send your meeting notice. It will help you lure at least a few guests coming to your meeting, and you can convert them into your members. And I would say that here in CTV's Toastmasters, we actually timing appreciate our officers, because some guests, when they see our meeting notification, they will say, "Shut up and take my money." They say, "Where should I wire the money to?" Our VP or our past VP, Shannon, will say, "Okay, stop. Don't wire the money right now. Come to our meeting first." So you can see that the marketing tool is super strong. Some guests, they saw our marketing tools and they asked where to wire the money directly. So thanks to our VPM and VPE team like Shannon and Walter. And as a leader, as a club officer, our current president, Eric, came today as well. It's important to timely appreciate your officers because you are a team. You actually recruit the guests or recruit the members. This is a teamwork. Timely appreciate your officer instead of accuse each other. And we used this form before, but now everything is electronic, so we don't use this paper sheet anymore. But we just try to show that there are about 6 guests that day, and we turn them, 3 of them into our members. So I don't accuse members or officers. Sometimes they don't really perform well, but I use like opportunities to educate them. For example, there's a new meeting that there are a few guests came, and everyone was in a rush during that new meeting. So our VPN and Deputy VPN didn't get a chance to talk with the guests. So after the meeting, I sent an email to appreciate the officers to arrange the new meeting in a short time. I didn't accuse them. I just say that next time, for example, our VPN tried to send an email to welcome the guests who just joined our new meeting, but we didn't get a chance to talk to him. And remind that the Deputy VPN to remember to always have a word with the guests. Don't ever accuse your officers. They are your teammates. Encourage them and take the opportunity to educate them. Usually try to let them know immediately instead of after a month. Everyone forgets things after a month. So try to do it immediately in time. Cover each other. If you put the workload, everything on your VPE, then he or she probably will quit very quick. If you put everything on your VPN to recruit members, he or she will probably quit as well. Cover each other. So in CTV Toastmasters, we have an officer and also he or her deputy. So everyone cover each other. And if people are all busy. For example, our current president, Eric, he's an AI engineer. So sometimes when his project's launching, and he'll be very busy, then our deputy VP will jump out, Shannon will jump out, I will jump out to invite the external helpers. Cover each other. Remember, we are a team. And lead by example. As one of the leaders in CDP Toastmasters, I don't ask people to do things. I don't ask officers to do things. I do things. And my officers see I'm doing, from arranging the workshop, or they will help me to organize the workshop. Or after the meeting, I also help clean the table or the garbage, and they will help me to clean it out as well. Lead by example. Don't ever instruct your officer to do things. Lead by yourself. And also, I want to share that one thing is that because I mentioned we do most of things electronic right now, and we actually do Google Docs collaboration for our meeting information. For example, the bottom one is the guest information. So whenever there's a guest coming, then our VPN or our WVPN will collect the guest email and update them into the Excel on our Google Drive. So every officer will understand about the updates and the contact of the guest. So when they send a meeting notice, they will use the updated email list to send. Otherwise, you get one, I get one email, then we didn't really put it consolidated into one Excel file. The guest will not receive your meeting notice in the future. And the important part is the agenda. And as I mentioned that, because Eric is an engineer, so actually he puts the time on the Excel. So we don't really have to calculate each start time and end session for each session. They do it automatic calculation, right? So you won't really make miss or have to check it again. And also, because this is a collaboration, MEC stands for mutually exhaustive, collective, mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. So every officer who ever invites a guest helper or invite your member, they update on the same file. So you don't really have duplication, or some row is missing because no one invited them. You do it simultaneously update. Every club may have your own unique style. Perhaps you prefer using the line, the app, right? Remember, if you're using the line, don't just put the invitation status in your chat, your talk box. Put it into the notes function. Otherwise, it's going to be flushed easily away from the chat room. So you will forget that someone already invited the GE already. So this would cause a problem. Last time I was invited by a student club. A student club is usually less well organized. So they invited a helper, but I think the VVR forgot to put my email into VP's sender list. So I didn't get the agenda. Check that you update your email list. And also, for the meeting roles, if every officer invited a helper, remember to update into the Excel file, the agenda file. So you will have the mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive meeting agenda in a very efficient way. For community clubs, here I'm going to offer you some marketing tools. That's probably what a club, community club needs most. The first one is resourceful. Besides FB, Facebook, that I just shared with you that how CDBC Facebook works, and you can check CDBC Facebook's later by yourself about every meeting that we update our meeting notification and meeting records every time, timely. And the second one is AccuPass. For example, this year, the coming spring conference, I think Simone and Matthew just updated the meeting information, the event on AccuPass. What is the benefit of AccuPass? The benefit is, I think, will be the region. Because you have to stay the venue of the event on AccuPass. So actually, people who is near the venue of the event, they can search the event. If you pay the money, of course, you will be on the very top of the search. But usually, Toastmasters, we don't like to pay, right? So if you use the free version, then it will be not easy for the people to search your event. But for people who is near the venue, they can search you easily. So you can catch your potential guests to come to join the event. So if you're a committed club, and especially if you're moving to a new place, try to use AccuPass. And the third one is to try to hold some special workshops and events, because usually you will have some marketing about this event. So it will help you to market your club. A third one is a new one. It's called Meetup. I learned this from another club in Division AGM. If you're using the free version, you can join the events held by others. If you pay monthly $5, then you will have lots of people that you don't know come to join your meetings. I don't think it's expensive. It's just $5 per month. So if you have a problem facing very few people joining your meeting, try to use this one. It's just $5, and lots of people, I mean lots of foreigners as well. Because I heard that foreigners like to use this website to search for events. And you don't really have to expect them to become your members, actually, because those people who join those events usually are playful people. They like to try to experience different things. They try to experience different types of things, so they probably just come once. But I heard another close friend that because those people can, and they add lots of spices into the meeting, that makes the meeting very fun, lots of fun. So if you have guests coming to your meetings and actually they feel bored, sometimes you have other people help you to increase the variety into your meeting. That will help your guests' retention rate. They would want to come back again. And I would say that during the 2 years, actually that was very tough. For today's Toastmasters, we have about like just 6 or 7, 8 people join the meeting, but we have faith. So I still uploaded the meeting photos. One day I got a call from a trio at that time, and she was out of goodwill. She asked me that whether I would consider to remove the photos from Facebook. She said, it's actually very pathetic that only 6 people joining your meeting. Okay, I know it hurts, but I have to. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know it takes time, probably at least 6 months. So if your club is in very low status right now, if you're doing the right things, I assure you that it will come back again. This time the health examination result was awful. But if you're doing the right thing, you're exercising, you pay attention to your diet, in 6 months to 1 year, your club is going to be alive again. And you got your resources today, you got people, you got lecturers, you got marketing tools. Doing the right thing, and your health is coming back. And this is some photos that I try to show that I have to bring those people. For example, our members didn't join the meeting regularly at that time, so I just let them know every time what they miss by using the photos instead of what I told them. So every meeting information and the records, I upload them to timely. So this is a joint meeting with HP, our president is there. This is our joint meeting. So there are a lot of reasons that your guests not coming back. Examine the reasons. For example, your meeting information is too chaotic, or you don't let them feel welcome. Discuss with your officers. Later we will have a DCP session held by Shannon. Try to use the opportunity to discuss with your members how to tackle each problem to make your marketing and your meeting information more attractive. For example, about the venue, if the venue is very complicated to be accessed, try to make it with some information that will help the guests to go to your meeting. Don't expect them to understand by themselves. With a photo of the entrance, that will be a plus as well. And I want to emphasize one thing about student club. Student club is really unorganized, so that's a problem. Some guests, helpers invited to the club. So I would suggest the student clubs, always invite earlier, at least 2 weeks before. Usually people who are working are very busy. It's not very polite to invite like 2 or 3 days before. And also, give them, the guest helpers, at least 2 dates to select. Otherwise, if the email come back and forth that, oh, okay, I'm sorry, but tomorrow I don't have time to go to your meeting, probably I will be willing to go to the meeting like in 1 month. So when you send the email, give the guest helpers, whoever you would like to invite, at least more than 2 days to select. So you don't have to do back and forth, checking again and again and again. Do it immediately. And for the later part of the meeting information and venue, don't expect them to search by themselves. So I do this in my notes. Every time when I do the first part about the invitation wordings, I automatically add, you can make this into your signature part, for example, your 签名档. So your meeting information, time, venue, and also your Facebook link. Sometimes people are hesitating to go or not. Let them have a feeling about how it is like to join your meeting. That would be a plus. And let me do the conclusion. For corporate clubs, remember your useful tools. Company email, the guest helpers. Even though we have lots of members, I still invite some external helpers because different people will have different chemistry. Variety is always great to the meetings. Community clubs, try to examine your current marketing and the way to access your meeting is easy or not. The third part for student club, do the scheduling at least 2 weeks before and also invite your guest helpers earlier. Toastmasters are usually avid learners are very friendly. They are willing to help as long as you invite them earlier. So I will try to get a 1 minute quick summarize about the pathways recently. I heard lots of members reflect their problems facing the pathway. I would say that as a pathway ambassador and a guide, it's actually a lot more easier than you think. Because I signed up as the secretary this year, try to examine all the functions in the websites. And I will tell you only 2 keys you have to know about pathways. The first one is do the before and after questionnaire. It's easy, just like 30 seconds each, 1 minute, you will make it done. The second one is after you do the project, click the evaluate button and do the evaluate. I'm very satisfied with this project design. Third one, after your BSP managers approve your pending request, mark the complete button. Everything done. Your project is done. At the first time, I sign on to the website is quite complicated, but after 10 times, it's a piece of cake, really. So try to catch up with your pathways. It's a lot more easier than you think. 知难行易. And the third one for BSP managers. Some BSP managers are being accused that they're irresponsible. And for BSP manager, I have one thing to say. The key is it's a lot more easier than you think as well. Just log in as a BSP manager. You will see your members' pending requests. I hope that there are not going to be a whole long list. Only thing you have to do, it's working. Just submit. There's only one button. Just submit. Then you are done. So just log in as a BSP manager, okay? And the third one, if you're doing a paper version, come to talk to me because that was for online version. Paper version was slightly complicated, but it's still easy as well if you do it for a few times. Because we have senior members doing paper version, so I would try to teach the paper version. Come to me when you want to know about paper version. So after everything is done, you can view your certificate directly on your website. Then the digital certificate will show up on your website. So I would say that DCP is just the natural results if you're doing things right. Toastmasters.